You ever have a tune idea stuck in your head, but no idea how to turn it into something real? In this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact steps I use to make full songs from just an idea, so that you can do the same thing, even if you've never made music before. Let's jump in! By the way, I go through my exact process in even more depth in the Music Starter Lab, along with secrets to help you start from zero. So check out the link below to enroll. Now let's jump in! Phase 1. Capture the tune I'm bringing to earth. Now the first thing we're going to want to do is somehow hum this baby. So think about the song that song idea you've been having in your head, like da 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 da. It could be simple, it could be complicated, it doesn't really matter. Chord. Okay, alright, that's good enough. It is off tune. Don't worry about that. We're gonna fix that. But now what we can do, we need to convert that tune into something musically usable. I want you to go to this website right here. It's called www.onlinepianist.com/virtual-piano. I am not affiliated in the site whatsoever. Whatever. But what I want you to do, I want you to just click on this C. And then just try to find the notes. Just click around. And then we can figure out what key this is in. We can write down somewhere what notes those are. And sometimes you might find that you gotta use the black keys as well. But if it starts to get that complicated, just press the C and try singing along with it from there. Sometimes you gotta go higher than that, but we can move it. So we move it here, and we can write those down. And this is what's going to allow us to not need to know anything about music to get started with this. This was the original up here that I crossed out, and then the non-crossed out ones are we're just gonna sing along. We're gonna try recording it one more time. Your frame of reference should be within that C major. The frame of reference has C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And that's how we're going to work with that. Okay. Now, what I want to do is get what we've just recorded into this. And I have my physical keyboard mapped up here, but you can literally click it in. So turn on this metronome. This is what gives it the beat. It's like your heartbeat. It just keeps you on time. And then just press play here. 4. Da 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 da. Okay, that's pretty good. And if you want to slow down the speed, make it faster, whatever, you can just. And then we just want to match it up to the original recording. And then you can use this line here. That's the playhead. That's showing you where you are in your song when it's playing. You can use that to your advantage when trying to figure out where it goes, where your next note goes. Da 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 da. And then they all have pretty similar musical timings or rhythms, so I'm just going to repeat these over here and just change the notes. Da, 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 da. And just turn on and off that ring if you want on and off metronome or click. That is our melody. That is the main part of the song when you're listening to your favorite artists and you're singing along to the words. That is the melody. You just made one. Great job. Since we have that in here, now we need to figure out the feel, the emotion. We have this listed as C major, but maybe we want it to be a little more angsty. Notice how right now it's really like hype. It's like more happy. It's more jovial. It could be happy like this, or we could have it more like. I want it more like more sad, more emotional like that, rather than the. So So yeah, it's up to you. Just pick one if you want a happy or sad. We're gonna actually start putting the supporting elements to the tune that match the feel and structure here. So this is going to create chords, and this is where we're putting multiple notes together that play at the same time that support the melody. So I'm actually gonna go to not flex. I'm gonna just I'm going to just clone this piano. If you don't have these ghost notes turned on, make sure this is selected so you can see what you already have. If we want our song happy, we are going to put it in C major. So we are going to, and in order for you not have to know a bunch of music rules, if you really just want to get started and just kind of play around, you can go to this, I don't know, what's that? No, you go to this little caret thingy here. Go to view, make sure you have, oh, you can change the keyboard style. You can change the keyboard style if you want, but you want your key labels to have all notes here, so make sure this is selected. Then you go to make sure this note grid highlights is turned on. Scale highlighting. Scale highlighting just tells you what like frame of reference you want to show within your song here, or within the grid, so that when you put notes down, you know that whatever notes you put down, they're going to actually sound right and be in the right frame of reference. And if you want C major, just click this major Ionian. Don't worry about what that means. Just trust me on this. This is really a, just go with it. View, go to scale highlighting and make sure this is on C. And then you'll see that the C's on the piano are a darker gray than the A's or any other note. That just means it's the root note, that's the home bass, and you'll see that the C's line up here. And you'll notice that the notes that you can use so that it sounds, that it's within that frame of reference, are those light grays. So there's light grays and there's dark grays. If you put anything on the light grays, you'll be good. Anything on the dark grays, that is out of the frame of reference, and that's what we won't be using. If you want to use chords in this, I'm going to give you just a few that you can just use if you don't want to go into too much detail. So this is the happy version if you wanted to go with this. Something familiar for you in a moment. And then if you want it more sad, a little tip on which ones to use based on whatever your melody is. Make sure that the chord at least has one note that matches whatever is playing on that melody. I'm going to create a whole new chord progression for my song. At least on the first notes that are within the bar, we need those to match somewhat within the main chords. The notes that come after it before the first hit, the ones that come after the first hit of the chord, I'm not as concerned with, but for simplicity's sake, this has a C, this has a C, this has a B, this has a B, this has a A, this has an A, and this has a B, and this has a B. And I think I actually want to move these up a little bit. I want to move this up an octave. So an octave is 8 notes, so when it's down here, and then verse is up here for the chords. So I moved my melody also up 1 octave. Now we need the next supporting element, which is our bass line. And that is going to be, we'll just duplicate another piano, clone the piano. And an easy way to do this is to take the root notes, so the main notes within our chords here, and just copy those, and we're going to paste them. So we got A, G, F, G. Those are our main ones because A minor, G major, F major, G major. So let's copy that. You might grab an extra one here. Then you can go up to the top, and then you just go to whatever instrument needs to be there. So we got this so far, and I'm going to bring this down 1 octave because the bass line needs to be lower than the chords. And the bass line is just, it helps round out the full sound spectrum. And a lot of times with the bass line, you may not necessarily hear it as much, but you'll feel it. So here's what it means. Here's what I mean. Notice how it just adds that much more, even though it's the same notes. Now, as you get more advanced with it, you can kind of make it a little more complicated and stuff, which I'll end up doing in a little bit. But for now, just to help you get started, this is our general beast. Now we can start picking sounds. A melody, piano is a good one. I do a lot with like dance music, so any plucks, I do a lot of work with plucks with that. And then for chords, piano, strings, anything that has a lot of things that have synth in it. And then bass line is anything that has bass in it. So I'm going to show you guys how we can kind of make this happen. And then I'm just going to name this piano tune 1, just so we have it. Now we can just right click and change the instrument. Now, one thing to note if you do this, you will be changing the instrument for the entire song, not just within this one little section. So you can either do that or you can just create a new section, but I'm just going to replace it because I don't really want to use the piano. So I'm going to go to Flex. Flex is a great one. It's a stock plugin, so that means it's already included within FL Studio, and they have a lot of cool sounds. So this is the one I mainly started with. So, oh shoot, I messed up. Replace. You gotta right click and replace. Reflex. There we go. And then we can go to, you can also go to guitars. Guitars are a good one. Bright humbucker. Let's see how this sounds. You know what? Actually, I'm liking that so far. Now, I think the chords I want to keep as piano for now. And then I'm just going to replace with a bass. We'll go back to Flex here. Now, let's go to Essential Bass Guitars. Let's see how this sounds. And I might need to bring this up an octave as well. And now I'm going to just kind of break it up, and I'm going to break up the bass stuff here and just make it sound how I want it to. So at this point, I'm going to start layering stuff here. And what I mean by layering is adding additional elements in here that maybe they support more of the chords, maybe an additional instrument. So I'm going to clone this, go to Flex, and I'm using just Flex for all of these because I can. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. You can play around with the knobs too here to see what they do to adjust the sound. Okay, so we got that. Now we could play around with adding some drums if you want. I'm gonna go to the drums here. I'm going for something low key, so that's determining my instrument decision. Make sure these are turned on if you need them. So we got the tune 1. What you could do, you can either duplicate this or create a new one. So I am going to just duplicate it because I think I want to keep the same chord progression and not do anything with it, which is really weird for me, but I really like it as it is. I don't think I've really ever done main acoustic, so like primarily acoustic, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. But what I am going to do, I am going to clean up my spaces here. Make sure whatever you delete, you're not using it in any other patterns, otherwise it'll delete it in those patterns as well. And then I'm going to split it by channel. And then I'm going to move, move all of these on here to the playlist. It needs to be sung too, so I might actually just do that and come back and just show you guys what I did. But yeah, this is basically it. If for this song, I didn't need to create an entirely different tune. If we still want to create shape in it, so like we could do something like this. We can remove the drums. Remove the drums and the bass. And this would be the intro. And we'll say this starts with the chorus. Da, 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 da. And then we got the verse, remove the... We could keep the bass if we wanted to, but it's required. I need the bass. So we just keep it going. See, this is kind of a special situation because if you want to sing over it or rap over it or whatever, there needs to be a certain space within the song where it's not too busy. I don't know how to describe that, and this is the first time I've actually encountered this, not on purpose. So let's Alt-T that. That is going to be chorus. This is great. And then this is going to be Alt-T verse. So I ended up adding vocals to it, and that's it. That is the tune, is taking it from a tune stuck in your head to an actual song. So if you want to go deeper than what I showed you here, I put together a program called the Music Starter Lab that walks you through my exact process step by step, with even more behind the scenes stuff that I did not have time to cover today. So it's built specifically for people who are starting from zero. So my process is modified for that like it is here. So go ahead, click the link below to enroll now and enjoy the song.